Hello guys, Cristiano here. I am a C programmer, learning all those things that I can. Hit the subscribe button, let a comment, that'll help so much the channel. All my videos will be in a fast mode with explanation. I'll reduce the time to be more precise. And we will face a lot of mistakes and debugs. Everything's calculated, or not. So don't be afraid. The link for all the source codes will be in the description. If you wanna follow, just get your copy. In this video, you add in TCP to SAT. You see the struggle of someone who needs to deal with errors. This video is interesting because it shows that things don't always go as planned. So let's go. We start by creating the files for TCP. We create a test based on a UDP test to reduce our time. We add the rule to create the test. We create folders for the TCP implementation. We create two headers, one for the client and another for the server. We do the same thing for the source files. We copy the UDP implementation. What you need to do here is connect before sending and receiving messages. We create the connect function. We rename UDP functions to TCP functions. We do the same for the server, and for the client, the same thing. In the client, we also need to implement a connect. We copy the UDP implementation to TCP files and rename the functions. Now for the client, and finally for the server. In the client, we add a new function. The same for the TCP server. In TCP Connect, we check if the socket is a client and pass it to the client connect. In the send, we make some adjustments. Since we already have an established connection, you can remove some things here. Here we just use the send, passing the size and checking if it matches with the value passed in this argument. In the receive, we replace the HECV from with a HECV assigned to the user size. In the close, we perform shutdown to close the connection properly. In the internal functions for TCP, we need to put the server in the listening mode. To do this, we added two new functions, server listen and server handle client. In the server configure function, we add the listen function. In the implementation of the server listen function, we set the backlog to 1. This meets most of the cases I'm using. If I need it in some future, we can external this parameter. In the server run function, we replace the entire content with two functions. The acceptive functions, we handle client connections. In the implementation of a server handle client, we clear the buffer, receive the message, check if it's not a disconnect request. If it is not, we check if the callback is implemented, and we pass it to the server's callback for handling. After return, we check if it is a server implemented to send. If so, we pass the buffer to the server to fill it. In the client set socket function, we adjusted it for stream and the other minor things. In the client connect, we need some includes. We configure it as a net and convert the port. We convert the host name to the value it operates on. If all goes well, we try to connect. In the test, we add in a running variable to control the server run. In onReceive, if it is received and exit, the server will stop. In the server thread, we add a while loop testing the running variable. If it is true, it will keep calling server run. In the client thread, we create a variable to count the sends. We put the sends inside a while loop. As long as it is below 10, it sends. We build. I see that we didn't link it to pthread library, but instead of adding pthread, I added the math library. Then after a while, I realized I'm adding the wrong library. Compilation successful, but where is the TCP? I forgot to add it to SH sources. In this way, it will never work. I used the opportunity to add a TCP client and the server. As well as the include. I compile again and there are errors. Now it's correct. Some errors and warnings. First, I remove the unused variables. Missing includes. Looking for the error in the onsend, I place the function in the wrong place and I keep looking for a while. I make some changes and the error is still there. When I realize the problem, I take the opportunity to add the send that I had forgot to include. I compile and everything is fine until I run the test, which never ends. When I try to run directly to see the messages, and it runs infinitely. I checked some points like the loop and the variable, and I didn't see anything strange, so it's time to debug. I put a breakpoint on the line that changes running to false. Everything's fine so far. But why the test doesn't end? I keep investigating for a while, but I didn't pay attention to the fact that UDP functions being called. After a while, I realized it and started looking for UDP run, trying to understand why UDP is being called. Here was another copy and paste def. I go to the test and check if I'm using UDP instance. I switch everything from UDP to TCP. I recompile and more errors. The TCP functions are not recognized. I remember to add the missing include in the main stat file. I recompile and test, then boom again. I try testing directly to see if I get any output to give me a clue. No output. Again, it's time to debug. I run debug and it breaks me right in the sand. I check various points in the handle client. I check the send to see if I missed anything. Then suddenly, it clicks in my head. Where is the connect function? How you do send messages without connecting? In TCP, by the way. But you didn't notice it, that I put in the server. Indeed, let's investigate again. I check if the bind is failing. Nothing to do with it so far. I'm running out of ideas right now about what is happening. I check if there are any projects using Docker that are using the port. My god, I'm completely lost now. Here I was already giving up. And realized I'm using the wrong file. I put the connect function in the client. Now it's in the right place. Let's compile and test. Here again, the server doesn't close. I go to debug to check what is happening. I keep a look without knowing what it for a while. Watching this for quite fun. I do more analysis to try debug again, look for a clue. The run is false. I don't know what's going on. I keep insisting, analyzing threads via debug. After several executions, I noticed that it wasn't leaving the run loop finally. Even I was tired to watching myself struggling in that way. The run loop was the while true. It was never going to work. I removed the while true, recompiled, and test. Finally, it worked. As you could see, things are not always wonderful. This kind of thing happens all the time. The offer was right in front of me, but I couldn't realize. But a mission given is a mission accomplished. TCP now is part of SAT. The TCP implementation is far from that I want, but for now, it serves its purpose. That's all for now. I appreciate it if you get here. Don't you forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment and share. Knowledge is not enough. Waiting for more. Bye. See you soon.